हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज के लेक्चर में वी आर गोइंग टू बिगिन विथ आवर final exercise, and in that they have asked all these questions about graphical representation. Student, we have seen in last 3 lectures about graph and how do we represent our partition value in this particular graph, and specifically we have seen the method about less than type of ogive with the more than type of ogive, and in the last session we have seen by both the less than and more than cumulative frequency curve we have drawn and we have obtained median. So this all the different combinations in which this graph can be applicable, we have seen in example by taking one example which was not a textual question as such, but now if you uh, gone through that particular example, then now it is very much easy for you to draw a graph and to locate any partition value as such. So student, in front of you, this is the first question. The following table gives frequency distribution of marks of 100 students in an examination, and these marks are provided in continuous class interval 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and so on till 45 to 50, and number of students as a frequency provided students. So after that they have asked to determine D6, Q1 and P85 graphically. Okay, so with this we begin our first table. It is convenient to find with the less than cumulative frequency curve. That is our priority. If they are insisting about this more than, and they have written in the question that you're supposed to find out with the help of more than, then only we go with that more than cumulative curve method. Here they have not mentioned, so we will prefer with less than cumulative frequency method. Let us prepare a table having first column as a mark as a class interval, next is frequency as a number of students, and third column less than cumulative frequency. So under solution, we are going to prepare first column as a marks, which is x in terms of class interval. Next is number of students, that is a frequency, and the last column, that is less than cumulative frequency. Now this is a very common thing for you now. All class interval 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, and 45 to 50. Okay. Corresponding frequencies 9, 12, 23, 9, 12, 23, 31, 10, 31, 10, 8 and 7. Let us prepare less than cumulative frequency column. Less than cumulative frequency column. First is, as it is 9, 9 plus 12, 21 plus 23, 44 plus 31, 75 plus 10, it will be 85. Next it will be 85 plus 8, going to be 90. 3 plus 7, it will be 100, and the total of frequencies are also the same, 100. Capital N, which is sigma f, is equals to 100. Now we have to obtain D6. So first we need to obtain D6 class. So D6 class will be 6 into capital N upon 10th value. So it will be 6 into 100 upon 10th value, and 10 will be cancelled. 10 into 6, that is 60th value. Okay. Second, we have to find out about Q1. So now let me find out Q1 class first, क्योंकि इसकी जरूरत हमको पढ़ने वाली है. As such, in the graph to plot, हमें उसको लोकेट करने के लिए काम में आने वाला है. तो Q1 class, this is 1 into n upon 4th value, which is going to be 100 upon 4 value, which is going to be 25th value. And the last part, which is asked as a P85. So P85 class will be 85 into n upon 100th value, which is going to be 85 into 100 upon 100, which is going to be kept, and 85th value that we have to locate there. Now first we have to prepare graph, and for that less than CF is represented, which is going to be plotted on y-axis, and the is a less than cumulative frequency curve we are preparing. So which particular class boundary we have to use, upper class boundary or lower class boundary? That means here there are the upper class boundaries we have to consider against less than cumulative frequency values. So which is, we have to ready with the x-axis and y-axis. तो x-axis के लिए अपर क्लास बाउंड्रीज रेडी है, y-axis पे हमें लेस देन CF के हिसाब से हाईएस्ट 100 तक लेके जाना है. मिनिमम दैट 9 is there, from that we have to begin. So take appropriate gap in the y-axis for the less than CF, and for upper class boundary 20 से लेके हमको आगे बढ़ना है. So we can consider our graph. See, all of you please come to the graph paper, and now I would like to mention here on the graph paper, on the x-axis, it is our marks, okay, and on the y-axis that we have number of students in terms of less than CF, number of students in terms of less than CF. Okay, fine. So marks, it was 20, 25, 30 and so on. But if you start with the 0 and you consider how many value you have to take, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Till you have to go 50. So if you start with 0, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. No. So what you have to do, please properly try to understand here that you have to start with 0. That is but obvious. And here I will represent the starting value 0. Okay. And I will directly jump to the value that you have to take initially. That is, you have to start with the 20. So I will start directly from 20. So the immediate next value I will consider 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. If I go with 0, then 5, then 10, then 15, these three values, 5, 10, and 15, they are not actually a part of our plotting. So they may consider the unnecessary space, and I will not compute with 50 on this required x-axis जो मेरे पास है. If you all have space and you wanted to show 5, 10, 15, and then you continue with 20, then you may show. But in this situation, in certain situation, what you all have to do, that if you have directly jumped with the 20, 0 से directly actually 5 के gap के हिसाब से next 5 आना चाहिए, then 10 आना चाहिए, then 15 आना चाहिए. But मेरे पास इतने जगह को waste नहीं करना है, so I'm directly starting with 20. It's okay, but you have directly jumped to 20, so that you need to show a kinked mark like this. You do cut a part, and that part you to join like this, and that will be known as kinked mark. All of you would have noticed these things in school section also, because this graph part maybe you would have come across in school section, and how to prepare and what are these basic things. So this is what we call it as kinked mark. This kinked mark is suggesting that you have in between taken some value, you have considered some value, but you have not shown. It is a simple and basic representation with the keyed mark. You can make them aware about that in between some certain values are there, but it is not been shown due to limited space availability. So student, this way you can represent it. जो कंटिन्यूटी मिलती है हमें, तो हमें कोई किंग मार्क करने की जरूरत नहीं, मगर बीच की जो वैल्यू को मैंने ओमिट कर दिया हुआ है, therefore I have to show this kinked mark. Okay, fine. So now coming to the for the y-axis, that you have to represent less than CF value, that is starting with the 9 as a minimum value, and it is to be taken with till 100. So if you start with the value 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, it will be enough to take that much gap. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, then 60, then 70, then 80, then 90, and 100. Okay. So if you are taking off 5 units gap, then might be it will be not possible to reach till that 100. Fine. So now I am going to have a plotting process, that is against the upper class boundary. You have to plot this less than CF values. First is 20 and 9. Against 20, you have to plot 9. 9 would be here. Very precisely you all have to do, please. Then it's 25 against 21. 25, 21. This is 20, then this is 21. Then 30 against 44. Here is 30 and against which 44. 44 would be 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, fine. Next 30 के against 44 हो गया. Then 35 के against 75. 35 के against 75. 35 के against 75 is directly coming here between 70 to 80. Next 35 का 75 against हो गया. And then 40 against 85. 40 के against 85. 85 is here. And 45 के against 93. 45 against 93. This is 90, 91, 2, 3. This is 93. Very comfortably and very precisely you to do, so as not to have any kind of mistakes. And the last one is 50 against 100. 50 against 100, that will be total here. Okay. And now it is time to have the plotting part. Okay, this is the whole graph. After plotting a point, it is in front of you. Now, very importantly, you please carry on with your particular graph paper and this freehand curve, that you do join these points very conveniently and without any sort of disturbance. Okay, and where I have to actually end here, this is kinged mark which is drawn, and in that this is a point where I have to make it finally, and starting with the top point as usual, and this is what the whole graph you got in one flow without uh, taking off your hand, and that is what we call it as freehand curve. Fine. Now what we will have to do, we have to find out we have to locate all these partition values, which is asked. First q1 के d6, for that 60th value, that 60th value you have to mark 60 here on the y-axis. 60 कहाँ आएगा स्टूडेंट, ये रहा, और वहां से आपको स्ट्रेट लाइन ज्वाइन करना विद हेल्प ऑफ स्केल ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर कर्व. लेस देन शेप का कर्व जो बना है ना, उस पर आपको टच करना है, और उस पे से वो पॉइंट जो आपको मिला हुआ है, ये पॉइंट जो आपको टच करने पे मिला, on from that point you to draw a straight line on x-axis, which we can also say as a parallel to y-axis. Okay, so this, from this point you have to bring a straight line. Okay, so make a straight line from that with the help of scale. Very importantly, you to make a, okay, so this is what a straight line I got. On this x-axis, and a point where I am locating here, you can notice this is a point that is going to give you the answer about this partition value, which is actually your answer about d6. So this is what your answer of D6, which is now you have to see there, because you are not calculating, you don't have formula to apply, and you have to just observe and tell where exactly we are on that x-axis. The point 30 and this is 35, in between we are having, so I am getting 31.5. This again I repeat, student to student or person to person, it has certain difference you will find, because it is freehand curve method which we are actually making it, which may not be the same for everyone. We get a different curve slightly here and there, and due to that, the point where we are landing here on the x-axis may be here and there little bit. So 31.5 is our D6 answer. So you please write down here on this. Therefore, D6 is equal to 31.5, and this is our marks. Next, we have to now plot for Q1. Q1 क्लास कितना है तो स्टूडेंट्स 25th वैल्यू, 25th वैल्यू को हमें प्लॉट करना है. 25th will be plotting on a y-axis on this. Here it is 25, and from that 25 you have to make a straight line on that curve, and from that point we have to make a straight line like this. Exactly, we are landing on 25 के बाद आ रहे हैं हम, that is 26. Exactly, I am actually getting 26, that is we are getting there. So this is a point, this is Q1, which is 26 as per my graph. As per my graph, you may get little bit here and there. Again I repeat that you may have some changes in the value, approximately you may have, and write down here. So here we are getting Q1 is equals to 26 marks, and lastly that is for E85, that is you have obtained 85th class के लिए 85th value. So that you have to locate there. 85 मेरे को कहाँ पे मिलना चाहिए? Here it is 85. And from this we are going to make a straight line on a curve on that part. From there you have to draw straight line on x-axis. So where I am exactly coming, so here I am getting 40. If you have a straight line on it, you get a value there 40. So student, take a note there, that is P85 is this 40 marks. So hence taken there 40 marks, and these all are, you must consider approximately, because under graphical method you may not have exact accurate values as you find in the formula method. So this is what the way you have to present, and this is what already we have seen in the example question. What is the procedure exactly? If you understand everything, every time the process will remain same. बस जस्ट आपको एक्यूरेट बनना है, एक्यूरेसी लानी है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा करके आप उस प्रकार से आपका प्रेजेंटेशन बनना चाहिए, सो दैट द लोकेट जो अभी आप पार्टीशन वैल्यू कर रहे हो, you may get near to accuracy, near to exact answer. Okay, fine students, with this we conclude this question, and coming to the graph part where we need to write a scale etc, that we complete it, where we need to represent every time kind of scale that is a part of your solution, and graph on x-axis 1 centimeter is equals to, हमने x axis से क्या लिया हुआ है, marks, and that is 1 centimeter of gap we have considered 5 marks. So 1 centimeter is equals to 5 marks, whereas on y-axis we have taken as less than cumulative frequency value for that number of students, and that is taken 1 centimeter as 10 students. 1 centimeter is equals to 10 students. Okay, so with that we have finished this particular question. Coming to the next question, and in that we have provided information about, let us read the question. The following table gives the distribution of daily wages of 50 families. क्या दिया आपको? डेली वेजेस. वेजेस मतलब जो मजदूर लोग कमाते हैं, जो हम बोलते हैं कि लेबरर्स आर अर्निंग देयर वेजेस एंड एम्प्लॉयज आर अर्निंग देयर सैलरीज. तो वेजेस किसके लिए बोलते हैं? जो हम मजदूर लोग कमाते हैं, डेली वेजेस पे कमाते हैं कोई लोग, तो उसको हम वेजेस बोलते हैं. So it is given in terms of range below 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 300, and so on, lastly above 600. And number of families, उसकी countings दी हुई है, that is a frequency. Draw less than होगा है for the above data. मतलब less than cumulative frequency का बनाने को बोल रहे हैं. Determine the median income. Median income ढूंढने के लिए बोल रहे हैं. That means you have to find out median or Q2 you may say. And obtain the limit of the income of central 50%. Now how do we get the central 50%? That means ठीक है, ये मिडिल है, ये 25% और ये 25% पकड़ लो, मिला के ये आपका 25% हो जाएगा. Are you getting? So this is actually Q1, this is actually Q2, and this is here actually Q3. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? Else I am drawing a more broad diagram that this is your total 100%. This is Q1, this is Q2, and this is Q3. Each is 25%, where this 25 and this 25 मिला के total 50 होता है ना, तो middle 50 हो गया ना students. So 25% from here and 25% from here I have dropped, and that middle 25% मिला के total मिल जाता है, and that middle 50% lies between Q1 level and Q3 level. So here ये ऐसा आपको क्वेश्चन आगे सॉल्व करने में आया हुआ है. हाँ, don't worry about this. These are very basic things they have asked, but in direct way they have given that you have to find out Q1 and Q3 so that the central 50% of family lie between that particular limit. So indirectly you need to find Q1, Q3 also, and ऊपर आपको median भी पूछा था, that is your Q2, that is also to be obtained. Now very importantly, first less than CF का कॉलम बनाना पड़ेगा. यही डेटा में से आपको टेबल प्रिपेयर करना है. फर्स्ट लेट अस प्रिपेयर अ टेबल. So as you know this is what in this table we need to prepare. First column as daily wages, that is our variable in terms of X, class interval, and number of families, that are our frequencies. Please take down as it is. And now I have to create the next column about less than cumulative frequency. So students, now let's prepare the next, this less than CF column. 50 first one as it is, plus next 150 will give me 200, plus 180, it is going to be 380, plus 50, it is going to be 430, plus 40, 470, plus 20, 490, and plus 10, it will be 500. And this will be our final value of CF is going to be a total, as you know. So we'll write here n is equals to sigma f, that is 500. Now स्टूडेंट, जो तीन चीज हमें फाइंड आउट करने के लिए है उसका हम क्या कर लेते हैं, पहले उसका क्लास निकाल लेते हैं, बिकॉज वी नो नाउ व्हाट वी हैव टू फाइंड। Q1 भी फाइंड करना है, Q3 भी फाइंड करना है, वो लिमिट के लिए जो हमने डिस्कस किया, एज वेल एज दे आस्क्ड अर्लियर टू फाइंड आउट द मीडियन। So median के लिए Q2 as that we have to also obtain. So Q1, Q2 and Q3 ये तीनों के हमको क्लास ढूंढ लेने हैं ताकि हम उसको ग्राफ में प्लॉट करके उसका आगे कैलकुलेशन हम ढूंढ सकें. So first we are going to find our median class, that is we may say Q2 class. So 2 into n upon 4th value, substitute for students, n capital N is equal to 500, and then you cancel this, and finally you are going to get 250, that is 250th value. Okay, after this we are going to write the statement regarding that limit point of view. जो क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा है, the limit of income of central 50% of families, regarding that we are going to note a statement, that is, since income of middle, or you may say central 50% families will lie between Q1 and Q3, between Q1 and Q3. बस ये स्टेटमेंट एक हमने इन्फॉर्म करके ले लिया है ताकि नेक्स्ट हम लोग Q1 क्लास एंड Q3 क्लास both we can obtain. So Q1 class, that is 1 into n upon 4th value, that is 500 upon 4, that is 125th value, 125th value. And for Q3 class, 3 into n upon 4th value, that is 3 into n upon 4 हमने ऊपर ही ढूंढा ना 125, तो डायरेक्टली सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकते हो 125, we can directly substitute. So 3 into 125, that is 375th value. बस ये बेसिक हमारी जरूरत है जो हमने कंप्लीट कर ली है. Now student, as you know, we have to prepare a graph, and in that graph we require, because we are going to prepare less than type of cumulative frequency curve, and for that we require upper class boundaries, and that upper class boundaries are ready with us: 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and those upper class boundaries are to be plotted against our less than CF value on y-axis. So this becomes your y-axis values, less than CF, and these are your upper class boundaries are x values. So you need to prepare x-axis, y-axis in the graph paper. Please come to the graph paper, and in which this x-axis, that is regarding daily wages in terms of rupees, I have taken as the upper class boundaries. So it is begin with 100 and so on till I have taken as 700, the gap of 100 rupees. And the y-axis are about the less than CF, about the number of families, and that is been taken from 50, and gap of 50 I have to take till the maximum 500. You can notice in this less than CF column, this the minimum is 550 and maximum is 500. So you have to begin at certain point and you have to take a gap of a particular interval, and then you have to reach to 500. Student, I have made this particular graph paper ready. Please you also ready with this particular x-axis, y-axis, so as to plot the points as to get the freehand curve. Chaliye students, now I am starting with this plotting part. Very first, 100 के against 50. Okay, so 100 के against 50 को हमें plot करना है, and that plot I am showing this way. 100 के against 50. This is the first point done. Next, second one is 200 के against 200 के against 200. So next point we have to plot 200 के against 200. So this is 200, this is 200. Okay. Next one, 300 के against 380. 300 के against 380. So this is 300, and against which 380. 380, where it will come, 350 and 350 के ऊपर. This is 360, 70, 80, 90. So this is 380. Okay. After that, 400 के against 430. 400 is here. 400 के against 430. This is a 430. Next point, 500 के against 470. 500 के against 470. That 470 after 450. This is 460, 470, and 600 के against 490. 600 के against 490. 490 will be here. And lastly, 600 and above, that we are going to consider the upper class boundary as 700, and 700 के against 500 that we are going to plot, and that is 700. This is the last against that 500. So now our graph plotting of the points are ready. Plotted points are ready. Now we have to draw that curve, freehand curve, which is, we started with the upper point, this way. A fluent curve is required, freehand curve, without lifting your hand. And now this curve is ready, you can notice. And now we have to obtain a location of that partition value. This is first median, we have to find Q2, 250 value. 250 we have to show in the y-axis. Here it is, 250, and this 250 is particularly where from that point you need to draw a straight line on your curve this way, and from that curve, that straight line you have to draw on x-axis. So this is roughly coming on this x-axis at after 200, and this is our median 220, around 220. That is this point. This is our Q2, you may say median, that is 220, approximately 220. Students, these are the values which are approximation, because we can't find out with the help of accuracy, because we are dealing with our freehand curve, which is not a formula method, and that is what we need to write. Q2 is equal to 220. So from graph, $220, and this is what about wages. So wages in terms of rupees, 220. This is approximation sign. So we have done it. Now we'll go for this Q1. So first of all, Q1 class, we got that 125th value. So please locate that 125th value. 125th is going to come between 100 and 150. That is this one. So this is our 125, you can say, and from this you draw a straight line on that curve, so as to now you to draw from this particular point a straight line on that x-axis. And as a result, here a point I am getting around, I can say this is a point I am getting approximately, I can say, I don't have any fixed information where I am exactly on the x-axis right now. So this is it is around 150, 160. So this is what Q1 I am getting 160 approx. So this way we got this information, and now let me write down here. So Q1 is equals to rupees 160, and this is again approximation because we are not any specifically accurate value. Now we'll come on Q3, and on that Q3 first we have to plot that 375th value. 375th value will come here. 375th value. This is what 375. Okay, 375. From there, I have to draw a straight line on the curve, and from that point, I have to draw a straight line on x-axis. Okay, and where I am exactly actually getting 300, little bit beyond that 300. and it is likely to have not a 300, but how much reduction I may understand. I am actually approximately taking 399, or else I can go for 300 also. So here I am getting here, this is Q3 as approximately 299. So I will get this uh, Q3 approximately 299. And now I will comment in this particular question because they have asked the limits. So the final conclusion I need to take on it, that hence hence central 50% families lies between income of rupees 160 to rupees 299. So this is what the final conclusion. So, but student, very importantly, uh, this question will give you idea about how exact uh, approximately this value we need to take. We can't get any specified value which we get in the formula method. आपका पॉइंट ने आपका अपने जो पॉइंट से प्लॉटिंग जो किया, कर्व बनाया, मे बी द पॉइंट का जो प्लॉटिंग है that may have certain fluctuations maybe. So this is what the whole question, where you got the final limit q1 and q3 from the diagram, from the graph. So students, here we are ending this session. With this, you please practice at home and try to have more accuracy in this type of questions. And if you want, these questions are also, you can take for your practice purpose. You can do solve with the formula method also. So it will be very much important that you get more and more practice as far as formula method is concerned. So please have a practice. Once again, this question you solve with the help of our formula method. Thank you, friends.